Auntie Connie's 100th birthday. On June 19, 1911, in South Boston, the fifth child of Italian immigrants, Carmen and Teresa Fiscaldo Diorio, was born. It's a girl whom they named Conchetta. The stories shared by those who were there at the time of her birth are that she was feisty from the day she was born. Her growing up years were spent at 526 3rd Street, living above her parents' meat and grocery store. She was a smart young girl who was the first in her family to graduate from high school. South Boston High, to be exact. Let me find myself. In those days, graduating from high school was a very big deal to her immigrant parents. Upon graduation, she went to work at a photo studio and then in a company called Northern Industrial. This was the roaring 20s era. Conchetta and her younger sister Annette went dancing as often as they could sneak away from their parents and the watchful eye of their big brother Joe. They loved to dance, the Lindy and the Charleston, which Connie continued to dance at all of the weddings and parties, only to complain the next day that her knees and the balls of my feet are killing me, adding, never again. Guess what? At the next wedding, she was the first one on the dance floor, only to repeat the complaints the next day. She dated and was unofficially engaged to a handsome young man named Donut. He was in the Navy. While he was away, another handsome young man who worked with her at Northern Industrial asked her for a date. After several refusals, she agreed to go out with him. He, Edward Pistorino, arrived for their first date with flowers, or was it chocolates? Wow, this guy has class, she thought to herself.
This would ever happen. To see all my great nieces, great grandnieces, and so many more friends, family, nephews that I never thought I'd see. Nieces, beautiful, everybody. I love you all.
And we love you. Okay, let me finish reading this. You read it fast. They continued, she said to herself, wow, this guy has class. They continued to date Eddie, taking her to the theater, to hockey and baseball games. That is, until Donut came home on leave. He'd heard that Connie had been going out with Eddie. This upset him. He then gave Connie an ultimatum. Eddie or me. With much thought, she made her choice. She would share the rest of her life with her darling Eddie. As Donut left, he turned and he gave Connie a good salute. Goodbye. Auntie Connie and Uncle Eddie adored each other and were married in June of 1936. They had many happy years together. Although they were not blessed with children of their own, they were blessed with 14 Diorio nieces and nephews. The first being born in January 1926, and the last born in January of 1949. They also had many, many Pistorino nieces and nephews. Here we are, 100 years later, celebrating her 100th birthday. Her sister Rose, our Auntie Rose, who is about to reach 98 years of age in just 3 weeks. She traveled, from Florida unescorted to celebrate this wonderful occasion. Along with Auntie Rose, there are 5 generations of nieces and nephews gathered here to pay tribute and to say thank you to our dear Auntie Connie. Happy 100th. I've shared these thoughts and memories with all of you and hope that some of you have more to share.